You guys,
What, Daddy?
will you please go give me that 4-foot ladder, that blue ladder down there? Will you help him, Isaac? We're talking about things you leave behind, right? Well, my dad didn't really leave me this guitar. I went and grabbed it. He gave away everything of importance in his life. I watched it, and as a young boy, I didn't get it. Like I wanted those things. I coveted those things. You know, if your dad's a carpenter, I imagine you'd be searching for his tool belt and his hammer. My dad was a songwriter, you know. This guitar was something he carried with him and made a living with on a daily basis. It's kind of that one thing and all the memories that surround that one thing. You know, there's like the greatest things that you stumble across in this life are typically unintentional, right? Like I saw the tips of these 2 black horns sticking out of the water and kind of immediately knew what I found, which is a longhorn skull. I mean, if I'd have been 30 yards away from it, I would have missed it. I was thinking I'd put it right up there.
Look at its teeth.
You can go buy a longhorn skull at a flea market, but it wouldn't have that kind of significance because it represents the amount of work that I've put into a certain thing, the thing that I do for a living, you know?
Daddy, how did he die?
That's a really good question. My guess is that he drowned. He's really big and he got caught in the mud. And then
Like
I think
Isaac's
he
shoe?
fell over.
Like Isaac's shoe?
Like Isaac's shoe. He got stuck and then he fell over and he drowned. If you think about it, it's probably pretty sad.
You know I'm down now, baby.
My dad is remembered as a super heavy character, battled alcoholism, drug addiction, depression. I can tell by how much his hands shook whether it was going to be a good show or not, just what shape he was in, you know. But by and large, man, he was one of the funniest and coolest guys. He one time on stage was having a really hard time just getting his strap on, and it was caught up in the cord, and the audience was just like, oh my God, Towns, come on, buddy, you can do it, right? And he looked at the crowd and said, it gets much worse. So man, he was just, he was fearless of putting himself in harm's way. The only thing he was capable of leaving behind of great significance were those songs. And he left them to me, he left them to you, he left them to the world. And that's a beautiful thing. It's a clear connection to my father, right? I don't want this thing to disappear. I love it, and I cherish it as his guitar, but it's not nearly as important as the songs I recall that he wrote, that I sing to myself, that I hum going down the road, right? The reason it came across my dad's doorstep is the same reason I found that longhorn. His fate was to cross paths with this thing.